The camera flickers to life in Sarah Chan's trembling hands, her breath fogging the viewfinder as she stands before the weathered Victorian on Ashbrook Lane. It's been 15 years since her younger sister Emma disappeared from this house without a trace, and now Sarah has inherited it from their recently deceased grandmother. The footage jitters as she pushes open the front door, revealing dust motes dancing in shafts of afternoon light that slice through boarded windows. She speaks into the camera, her voice steady despite the fear tightening her throat, explaining that she'll document everything she finds, that maybe somewhere in these rooms lies the answer to what happened that October night in 2009, when Emma, just 13 years old, vanished between bedtime and dawn. The first floor reveals nothing but the ordinary archaeology of abandonment: furniture draped in yellowing sheets, family photographs staring from the walls like accusatory ghosts. Sarah's narration becomes more intimate as she climbs the stairs, admitting to the camera that she's been haunted by guilt all these years, that she was supposed to be watching Emma that night, but had snuck out to meet her boyfriend instead. The hallway stretches before her, and she approaches Emma's bedroom with the reluctance of someone walking toward their own execution. Inside, everything remains frozen in time. The bedspread still rumpled, a half-finished homework assignment on the desk, a diary Sarah never knew existed tucked beneath the mattress. As darkness creeps across the house, Sarah reads Eva's diary entries aloud to the camera, her voice cracking as she discovers her sister had been experiencing something terrifying in the weeks before she disappeared. Emma wrote about a presence in the walls, about hearing her own voice calling to her from the attic, about seeing a figure that looked exactly like her standing in the corner of her room each night, never moving, just watching with eyes that reflected no light. Sarah's hands shake so badly, the footage becomes almost unwatchable as she realizes Emma had tried to tell their grandmother, had tried to tell their parents, but everyone dismissed it as nightmares, as a plea for attention from a lonely middle child. The camera's battery indicator blinks red as Sarah ascends the narrow stairs to the attic, but she doesn't stop recording. Up here, the air tastes different, older, like breathing in centuries of secrets. She finds it almost immediately, a door that shouldn't exist, camouflaged within the wooden paneling, the kind of architectural anomaly that suggests deliberate concealment. Behind it lies a space no larger than a closet, and inside this hidden chamber, Sarah discovers a collection that turns her blood to ice. There are dozens of camcorder tapes, each labeled with a date and a name: Jennifer, 1987, Michael, 1991, Amanda, 1995, Thomas, 2001, Emma, 2009. Her camera captures her shaking hands as she loads Emma's tape into an old playback device she finds among the collection. The footage within footage shows Emma in this very room, but she's different, her eyes vacant, her movements mechanical. She speaks directly to the camera, but the voice emerging from her mouth sounds layered, multiple tones braided together into something that was never meant to come from a human throat. Emma describes how the house has been feeding for generations, how it creates duplicates of those who sleep within its walls, perfect copies that slowly replace the original over days or weeks, while the real person is drawn into the spaces between the walls, into the house's hungry architecture. The duplicate eventually leaves, walking out into the world to live the stolen life, while the original becomes part of the house itself, their consciousness absorbed into its foundation. Sarah's camera captures her frantic search through the hidden room as she realizes what this means. Her sister, who came back that morning 15 years ago, the one who claimed to have no memory of the night before, the one their family accepted without question because she looked and sounded exactly like Emma, that wasn't Emma at all. The real Emma has been trapped here all this time. Sarah begins tearing at the walls with her bare hands, screaming her sister's name, begging for a sign, any indication that some part of Emma remains. The camera falls to the floor, still recording sideways as Sarah's desperate sobs fill the audio track. Then, impossibly, Sarah's own voice emerges from somewhere deep within the walls, calling her name with perfect inflection, with the exact tone she uses when she's frightened. The camera captures her frozen expression as she realizes she's been in the house for hours now, as she understands that somewhere in these walls, her duplicate is already forming, already learning to be her. She grabs the camera and runs, her footsteps thundering down the stairs, through the hallway toward the front door. But when she reaches it, she stops. In the viewfinder's reflection, she can see herself standing at the top of the stairs behind her, watching with eyes that catch the light wrong. Sarah turns to face the camera directly, tears streaming down her face, and whispers that she's so sorry, that she finally understands why Emma never came home. The footage shows her making a choice. She turns away from the door and walks back into the house, back up the stairs, past her own duplicate that steps aside to let her pass, back toward the attic where the other voices wait. The camera continues recording for 17 more hours, sitting forgotten by the front door where Sarah dropped it in her final moment of hesitation. At dawn, the duplicate descends the stairs, picks up the camera, and erases everything except the first 30 minutes of footage showing an empty, ordinary house, and walks out the front door into the morning light, gets into Sarah's car, and drives toward the life she's inherited, leaving the camera on the porch still recording nothing but an empty doorway and the sound of wind moving through spaces that shouldn't exist.